Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day or evening or whenever you watch this. I'm not even gonna try to make this video perfect because honestly, I just don't have the energy and I feel like, yeah, just need to film. So I did my liquid lip off camera because, see, it's already up. Okay, my liquid lip is finally on. I just did my nails. I love this color so much. It's like a deep cherry red. I literally feel like a mistress with this color on. I had a little bit of a darker color last week, but it's like cherry red. I'm really into it. I'm getting like Lana Del Rey vibes. Feet don't fail me now. Kind of just want to jump into it and just do like a little bit of a life update, you know, super real and raw. I kind of want to talk about like pretending to be perfect. If you know me, people always ask me about my Instagram, about my social media, and like I have done so much work to disconnect from posting and like likes and this, that, and the third. I just post for myself and I don't even post on Instagram anymore. I literally just post stories. It's just crazy how like the pressure to be perfect, the pressure to post a picture that's perfectly edited, and it's honestly so exhausting, and it's like a rat race that you'll never finish because like you're always trying for like that end goal that's never there. It's just like, just enjoy what you have. It's hard because like a part of you constantly wants to keep up a certain image. I don't know, it's just so not healthy. By the way, I know I'm drawing all over my face. But no, I had a dream last night and I was just like thinking a lot before bed. I was like smoking a little weed before I went to bed. I literally never smoke weed anymore. Like if you know me, I used to smoke weed so much and I literally never do it anymore just because it gives me such bad anxiety. And last night I was like watching World War II in color on Netflix, and there was a point where like they were getting really into like the other half of things and like what they did to people, and I just started crying. Like I was just bawling my eyes out because I was just like, it's so crazy to think of like what other people can do to each other, how you can just like numb it out and blur it out, you know, you're not seeing it, or like it's so crazy. And I just like was crying, and I kind of had like a little panic attack. And then when I calmed down before bed, I was like in bed and I was just like, what is the point of anything really? We all try so hard to be perfect, and it's like back in the beginning of the 1900s, people would literally make other people slaves, kill people, like do horrible things to one another to elevate themselves. And it's no different today. Like what if we were in a war? What if a war happened? But anyway, on a lighter note, I feel like I always say that in my videos. I'm like, on a lighter note, because I'm just like literally going off. I feel like the transition from warm weather to cold weather has finally like set in, and I'm comfortable with like where we are and the weather. And it's just like, it's crazy to think like how much the time change really affects you, because for me personally, like I am a summer baby. I've mentioned this multiple times on my channel. It went from getting dark at like 11 or 10 to now getting dark at 4. It'll literally start getting dark at like 3:30. It's just such an adjustment for your head, because it's like at that time you're just starting to like get into your second wave of the day. And then if you don't get certain stuff done, you like feel like, I don't even know, like you just feel it, and then it just like makes you tired, and just like such an adjustment. I'm not a big fan of winter. But it's funny because before the dark, like the dark weather, the cold weather set in. Oh, I love the smell of this. This is like a cucumber mint, like facial mist toner. It smells so good. Before like the time change really set in, I feel like a lot of things kind of went wrong. Like shit was going on at work. My car broke down. 10 million things at the same time. God never gives you anything that you can't handle. So when everything goes wrong at once, you're just like, oh my God, like everything's going wrong. But it's like, God wouldn't give you anything you can't handle. So he knows I can handle a lot. So like everything blowing up at once, and then another one and another one, it's like, whoo, I didn't know I could handle all this. It's such a blessing, because like when it happens and you look back, you're just like, wow, like I'm so much better off for that. But right now my city is, I honestly don't even know the color. I think it's like code red, but basically like the whole city's on lockdown. Like you literally can't even buy a Christmas tree. You can't shop for anything that isn't essential, and like the whole city's locked down. And I feel like a lot of people are like on edge. Like a lot of people are like, oh my God, you know, I have to do my part and blah, blah, blah. Everybody's just kind of like freaking out, and I totally respect it. And I'm totally like understanding it to a certain extent. Christmas is coming, and it's just, I can definitely feel everybody's energy, and I'm just trying to like float, if that makes sense. I'm honestly just happy that we got to have the summer off, because if we had to go through a second lockdown or like have the same lockdown and not have the summer off, I think I would have probably gone insane by now. Like I probably would have literally moved to like Bali and just like started a new life. I was actually watching Miley Cyrus's Plastic Hearts interview with Apple Music, and honestly I resonated with it so much. I love Miley Cyrus so much. I think she has grown so much. She's such an intelligent, smart, driven, open, beautiful person. I just love her. I think she's so great. And I was watching her interview, and she's like, that person that you saw 5 minutes ago, or like that said that thing 5 minutes ago, I'm different now. I've already evolved. And I resonate with that so much, because I've always been like a very on my toes person. I've always had to adjust and like kind of like change my surroundings accordingly. And I feel like that interview like is just, I resonated with it so much, because like I'm the type of person where I'm very honest and open, maybe to a fault. Like I post things that I maybe shouldn't have posted that I know will get a reaction just because I don't care. Yeah, that can have like its own whatever, but like I don't know, like we've all made mistakes and we've all done things that are just like super crazy and wild. It's who you wake up as. Like if you wake up being like, I'm gonna hurt people today, that's not healthy. Like I constantly wake up being like, I'm gonna try my best, and I'm probably gonna make a couple mistakes today, but I'm still gonna try to be a better version than I was yesterday. And I think like acknowledging that you're not perfect and acknowledging that you have work to do, even if like while you're in the moment, is powerful, because it's like no one is perfect. No one wakes up and is like, I'm gonna be great today. I'm gonna go to work, and like no one does that unless like you're having like a really great day. No one is perfect. And like she was saying like, oh, you know, quarantine was super hard, and like, you know, I'm 2 weeks sober. And it's like for her to acknowledge that she's 2 weeks sober and like actually admit that like, you know what, I did slip up and I didn't have a really good moment there, but the last 2 weeks have been really great, waking up with a new fresh mindset and like being clear in my thoughts. I literally appreciate that so much, because people that like, oh, I don't drink, I don't do that. People that try to make it look cute all the time, you just see through it. When she owns it, I'm just like, that is so sick. And that's what I strive to do, is always be 100% authentically myself. Maybe I piss people off, maybe I do the wrong thing, maybe I say the wrong thing, maybe I've been ignorant, but I don't try to be that person. I try to be better. Miley in her new interview says a lot about like her aura and like how powerful she is, how people have tried to like dim that. I've acknowledged it about myself recently as like, I have a very big personality. I'm a very like outspoken person. And she also says like 27 is a pivotal year, because you either, you know, go into that next stage or you're just like stuck. I definitely acknowledge that like 27 is literally a pivotal year. Like a lot of famous people have like killed themselves, because it's just like you either go into that next chapter or you're like stuck and you just like can't move forward. I've always noticed that about my personality, and like people will say to me like, your personality is just so out there and like you're always ready to go. I acknowledge that about myself. I don't want to be around people that dim it or make me feel like I shouldn't be fully authentic all the time. Why would I want to be around someone that makes my energy less? I don't know if this would be like minimalism or like has something to do with minimalism, but I've just been really evaluating all the things around me. I live by myself. It's been 2 years, and like, what if I lost everything? What if like my place burned down and I literally lost everything and I had nothing? And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I could literally go through the ashes and try to pick up things that I lost and like try to look for things that like used to be there. But like at the same time, it's like, this is my space and it makes me so happy. But if it was all gone tomorrow and I lost literally everything, I think I'd be okay. Like I don't think it would like change my life. Yes, it'd be like a learning curve, but like things and possessions never made me happy. My mom, I remember driving in the car with my mom, and she's like, things will never make you happy. We were driving down the highway, and I remember she said to me, she was like, no matter how much you have or whatever you have, and things will never make you happy. And I remember my mom saying that, and I was just like, it's so true. Because it's like, when I wake up in the morning, do I think like, oh, I'm so happy that I have this and I have that? Like, of course it's nice to have things, but I feel like when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I'm so happy I have my mom. I'm so happy I have my dad. So happy I have my brother. I'm so happy I have these people in my life. And I feel like I've seen a lot of people that have been given everything, and they're just not real people. Like, it's so difficult to try to talk to someone that like doesn't even value like anything except for like mundane, materialistic, fake things. 100%. This video is so random, but ever since I was a kid, I would always push myself into situations that I wasn't comfortable with. I was actually talking to my dad about this the other day. I would always force myself to do things and force myself to not be comfortable and force myself to be uncomfortable, because I feel like the most growth comes from being uncomfortable and not being in control and not, you know, being able to predict what's going to be happening. I was literally saying to my dad, I was like, I can definitely say I can look back on my life and be like, there's not one thing I wish I said I could have done. One thing that I wish I could have done, or I regret not doing, or whatever. I literally have done everything, and I'm so happy that I can say that, because it's like, I don't want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I would have that guy. When I'm married and I'm stable and, you know, I'm in my 30s and I'm ready to like chill, I don't want to be like, oh, I wish I would have done more acid, or oh, I wish I would have done more of that. It's like, I want to do all of that and get it over with, so that when I'm older, I can just like chill and be like, yeah, I've had a pretty wild life. But now I'm at a place where I've done it all and I can just relax. Like I said earlier in the video, I've lived alone for 2 years now. And I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I have a living room, a kitchen, a dining room, a bathroom, and a bedroom. And like an entrance. Through having this space, I've learned that I don't need much to be happy. And I honestly have been dying. Like, I just want to fall in love with someone, be on the same page, build a tiny house and park it in the woods. Park it, metaphorically speaking, and just live there and be happy and be in the middle of nowhere. Like, it makes me excited talking about it. I follow so many YouTubers, Kara and Nate, Eamon and Beck, Van Wives. Oh my God, they're gonna kill me for not knowing their name. Tyler and Todd. I literally follow so many people that are just on the road. I think Eamon and Beck actually just bought a cabin. That's so amazing. Most of them are just like free-spirited on the road and just like always traveling. And I'm obsessed with the lifestyle of being happy with what you have and like it being enough. And I can honestly say that if I lost everything tomorrow and like I had a plan of like what I should do with my future, it would probably be like to build a tiny house. Like, I know that sounds so crazy, but like, or maybe it doesn't sound crazy. Maybe it just sounds like out there. I definitely want to travel more though. I live in Canada, and if there's a couple places I could go to, I'd want to go to Banff, Alberta, BC. Halifax is a big one. Newfoundland. I honestly think it'd be so fun to fall in love and just leave, go travel Canada together in like a little Sprinter van, or like just something that's like has what we need and is enough, and just travel Canada and just see everything. Once we've traveled and kind of had a little fix with traveling, just pick a spot and build our little tiny house dream and settle. And I feel like settling can have like a negative connotation, like, oh, I'm giving something up, or I'm settling on something. I don't think of it in a negative way. Before COVID, like last summer, I had a plan to, like, me and my brother were gonna go visit one of my girlfriends, Mandy, in Calgary, because her and her boyfriend lived there. So we were gonna go there for the weekend and kind of see like the hot spots in Calgary. And then after we're there for the weekend and kind of see Calgary, you know, the fun things to do there, we were gonna go to BC. I honestly am so sad that that trip couldn't happen, because literally in March, when we were starting to plan, that's when COVID was like shutting everything down. Like, no one was prepared for the amount of shutdowns that were happening. Everyone was freaking out. Like, we couldn't book an Airbnb because people were so scared to have anyone, like, it was just so unknown. Like back then, like literally, I'm like saying back then, it was like literally earlier this year. So we couldn't book anything or travel. So everyone kind of was like, okay, well, let's put it on hold. We never got to do it. And now that COVID is like literally shut everything down again, like we're back into code red. I also watch a lot of self-help videos. Like, there's this girl, her name is Shallon Lester, and her story is kind of like she moves from New York, which is like a city that never sleeps, and everybody's like on Adderall trying to get things done. Do you? She moves to Montana, and she's like, something told me in my heart to move to Montana. So I did. It's just so cool to see like the evolution. Like, she went from being like busy to like still busy, but like really coming into her own. And if you like videos that like motivate you and like just like make you feel good and like teach you lessons at the same time about like psychology and like, you know, certain like relationships and stuff like that, definitely check her out, because I literally have like my post notice on for her. I'm obsessed with her. I don't know, I just feel I like put her on and I'll like do dishes or something, and I just love listening to her videos. Don't even know where I left off. I kind of just started doing my eye makeup and I got a little carried away. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely check out the new Miley Cyrus interview if you're interested in that kind of thing. I really hope you guys enjoyed. As usual, all my social media is linked down below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.